Jason, I had to bring you in here to tell you I finally got myself a Range Rover. I got my first Brit.
This is exactly how it all ends.
Now, why do you got to be negative like everybody else? If you listen to everybody, I should be dumping this thing into the Black Sea or something.
I mean, they don't call it the Black Sea for no reason. I mean, you really do understand who your friends are.
Well, Jason, I've watched all your movies. I kind of thought we were friends, but maybe not. So I guess you should probably just go. But I'm still going to watch your movies. Just saying. That's right, folks. We have our first Brit in the shop. I picked up this 2010 Range Rover HSE 5-liter V8. This vehicle was the pinnacle of luxury SUVs in 2010. It has options from 15 years ago that you're only starting to see in vehicles now. It has heated and cooled leather seats with a blower on the headrest as well. It has adaptive cruise control, a full air ride suspension with multiple settings, a 6-disc DVD system with screens in the headrest, as well as a 6-disc CD changer in the front. It has navigation and HD radio, inputs, you name it. But the other thing it has that was very new for its time is a full LCD instrument cluster. Now, this car is not without its problems. When I first picked it up, it didn't recognize the smart key, and I didn't figure out what the problem was until I got it home. So I never got to hear it run when I bought it. But since then, I did manage to fix what was wrong with the key, and I started it, but it didn't sound good. I don't have the startup on video, but I wish I did. It didn't sound good at all. I shut it back down immediately. I'm going to take a guess that it is jump time, because these are notorious for having timing chain failures. But before we get into all that, let me take you around it and let you soak it up a little bit. I mean, just look how beautiful this thing is. It's a little dirty, but man, is it going to shine up nice. There's no real major problems with the paint on it. It does need tires in the front. Wheels need cleaned up. A little bit of curb rash on some of them that we'll fix. A little bit of fading on some of the plastic trims. There is a little bit of a crease down here in the door, which we might be able to PDR out. We'll see. And there's a little ding right here we can probably PDR out. As you can see, the air suspension is completely collapsed. That's because we can't run the engine to pump it up. Look how beautiful this is. It's dirty, but cleanable. I think this might be actually bleached. We may have to do a little bit of re-dyeing in some spots. Down the other side, we have a dent right here, which we can also use a PDR kit on. But overall, this thing is really nice on the outside. There's a little bit of clear coat peel on the spoiler, which we'll take care of. We've got some headlights to restore. Now, I've wanted a Range Rover for as long as I can remember, and this is likely going to end up mine. I'm going to probably sell the ST on it, believe it or not. Let's get inside and take a look. A little dirty, this will clean up. Seats are beautiful. There's our LCD instrument cluster with 157,000 miles on it. Navigation radio, automatic climate controls, heated and cooled seats. There's our suspension adjustment in different drive modes, electronic parking brake. Inside the upper glove box here is our 6-disc CD changer, which is a Clarion model, factory. Inside the rear, we have the same white leather. Beautiful seats again. A flip-down center console for your rear passengers, as well as screens in both headrests. They also have heated and cooled seats in the rear, and there's your video controls as well as 2 power outlets. Let's take a look under the bonnet. And in here is our beautiful 5-liter Jaguar-built V8, capable of 375 horsepower. It's dirty in here, we got a lot of cleanup to do. You can see it has custom gas shocks with vice grips to hold the bonnet up. Okay, so here's what's up. I am not going to spend another dime on this until I determine what is wrong with the engine. As you may or may not know, parts for a Range Rover are not what I would call cheap, and they're not always plentiful. Now, I suspect we may have a timing system issue, but I don't know that for certain, and I won't know that until we start taking this engine apart. So the first step we're going to take is to take the coils out, spark plugs out, and we're going to bore scope the cylinders and do a leak test to make sure that we didn't get any piston on valve interference. Now we're going to try to get the hood into a service position by taking the bottom of the gas shock off, like so. This is actually pretty smart. Land Rover put this little clip here that you can push down and over this pin to lock it into service position. We'll undo our mass airflow sensor. Take that off. Also have one on the other side. Use our 7mm and start undoing the airbox. Oh, maybe there were some clips. Or something. Start taking these rubber covers off the valve cover. Take our clips off of the coil packs. Alright, now we can use a torque socket to take out the hold down bolts for the coil packs. These are T30s that hold these in. Okay, with all the coils out, it's time to take the spark plugs out now. And these require a 14mm spark plug socket that I do not have. So I'm using just a regular deep well 14mm, and I will use a magnet to get the spark plugs out. Get a first look at our spark plugs. Looks like this was burning pretty nice. That's a good sign. Next one looks pretty decent too. A little dark, but otherwise good. Also looks good. Cylinder 6. The last one looks good as well. Cylinder 8. Cylinder 1 looks good. Nice clean burn. Cylinder 3 also a good burn. Cylinder 5. And the last one, cylinder 7. That is now all the spark plugs out. Let's try a cylinder leak down test on cylinder number 2. Well, the most I ever saw cylinder 2 get up to was just below 20 psi. We obviously have some bent valves. I had air coming out the other spark plug holes. So I jumped over to cylinder 2, and you can see it actually has no leak down, maybe 1%. So at this point I'm kind of guessing that the left side of the engine might be the one that actually jumped time. I'm going to test out the other cylinders on the right side and we'll see where we end up. Now it's time to bore scope the cylinders and see what we got in there. Uh-oh, that looks like some bore scoring right here. Yeah, that doesn't look good at all. That's the piston face. We got cross hatching in the rest, but this bore scoring here on this side, spin it around the other side, it is scored on this side as well, but you can still see the cross hatching on this side. But you cannot see it on this side. Yeah, that's no bueno. This is cylinder 4, and you can still see some cross hatching faintly in the scored areas. There's the piston face, just a little bit of carbon, not really a big deal. But yeah, looking at the scoring here, you can still see it. Well, that is a Lemony Snicket's series of unfortunate events. I was not expecting those cylinder walls to be scored like that. So we have to determine our best path forward here. Right now, we're going to compression test the cylinders and see where they come out. Because I did not do a compression test, I only did a leak down test. So let's see where our compression checks are at. Yikes, we're about 81 psi on cylinder 2. Oofta, 58. Well, cylinder 6 comes out to around 172 psi, so that cylinder's probably pretty decent. Cylinder 8's about 125. That's still not good. Yikes, about 65 psi. That's not the worst one, sitting at about 130 psi. Cylinder 5's not too bad, 150. And our last one, cylinder 7, is about 125. Well, that is not the outcome we were looking for. A little disappointing. This is the definition of mechanically totaled. This engine is no good. It would have to be removed, taken to a machine shop, cylinder walls honed, maybe even bored, depending on how deep the scoring is. And by the time you're done, you have thousands into it, even if I rebuild it myself. And unfortunately, the vehicle is just not worth that. So where do we go from here? Well, I don't know if you noticed during the compression test, but you could almost hear piston on valve interference, and then it went away. Well, all the parts I got can be returned with maybe exception of the cylinder heads. I don't know. I got those off of eBay. We'll see. But everything I got from Rock Auto can absolutely be returned. And I think I can return the special tools that I got off of Amazon. Though I might keep those, this may not be the last Range Rover we see in this garage. We'll see. So I have a brand new set of spark plugs here. How about we throw those in and see if we get this thing running and how bad it sounds. We certainly can't do any more damage. So that's what we're going to do. Now before you put your new spark plugs in a trash motor like this, make sure they're properly gapped. Yep, there's a gap there. We'll use a little bit of YouTube magic to get this engine back together. To that. Okay, now that it's all back together, it's the moment of truth. What do you think the odds are this will fire? I think 100% it's going to fire, but I'm questionable on how long or what kind of noises it's going to make. But hey, you're going to find out with me, so let's do it. And here's the moment of truth. Well, I'll be damned, it runs. And it really doesn't sound bad. I'm confused. Taking throttle, very interesting. It even doesn't sound the worst. I mean, I've heard a lot worse than that. And with all that bore scoring, there's not even smoke coming out the tailpipes. Did we somehow get ourselves a good running Range Rover with a mechanically totaled engine? I'm baffled by this because the bore scoring that I saw didn't look good, but this sounds decent. You can definitely hear a little bit of that piston slap on this side from the bore scoring, but honestly, it doesn't sound that bad. It is, however, running rough. I can feel misfires. We have the check engine light flashing. Let's get the scan tool in here and see what's going on. Yes, we have a Range Rover. All right, let's see what we got here. Intake air temperature sensor, circuit high. This is all ECM. We got camshaft position actuator, bank 1, bank 2. I had all of this disconnected and I did turn the car on. We do have a 1, 4, and an 8 misfire and a random misfire. Cylinders 1, 4, and 8, not even on the same bank. A lot of this is just because I had the batteries disconnected and I had other things disconnected. So what we need to do is clear all of our codes and start this up and go from scratch. Basically down to nothing. Let's see what happens now. It is at the moment running superbly. Like it's not even shaking from misfires at the moment. I think we're gonna have to take this for a drive. All right, we're gonna take this for a very short drive because the alternator doesn't appear to be charging. It does run a little rough at the moment. Brakes don't feel that great either at the moment. I mean, there's a bit of rust on there. Like the old girl hasn't run in probably 2 years now. Feels good. Thumping in the brakes. Check engine light on. She's got a little bit of misfire at times. Temperature staying in the middle. That's pretty good. Let's see what she's got. Oh. I mean, it's still got some pickup. I didn't kill any mosquitoes behind us. That's good. So we got a charging issue so far. Probably some misfires. Definitely some misfires coming up the hill. Check engine light is flashing again. Well, color me confused. I mean, it runs decent. Not perfect. There's issues. Of course there's going to be issues. We have so many trash cylinders in here, but why is this thing running as good as it is? Why was I just able to take it for a drive? Why is it not smoking up the neighborhood? I have no idea for any of these answers. But what I do know is there's some options here. What do I do with it now? One of the possible options is to use this vehicle as an experiment for some of the snake oils you can buy off the shelf at the auto parts stores. You know, like your engine restorer and other things that are Lucas, blah, blah, blah. Second option is we see if there's anything else that's causing the misfires. And if we can clear up those misfires and get this engine running decent, maybe we drive it. Maybe we put it on the road. Still has a little more work to go than that, but still, maybe I enjoy it for a while till I get the Range Rover out of my system. But make no mistake, this engine is still mechanically totaled regardless of how it's running. It is not long for this world. Option 3, and really one of my least favorite, is to part this out, see if I can recoup some of my money. I'm sending all my parts back and probably all my special tools because I'm not going to need them. I am going to lose money on this purchase regardless of what I do.
Money, 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 money.
But believe it or not, I'm not even upset about it in the least. I can make more money back and I can have fun with this in the meantime. And now that I know I don't have to tear apart cylinder heads and all that garbage, everything just becomes easier at this point. Now we do have a charging issue as well. Maybe we can knock this alternator back into existence with a little, you know, we'll see. I definitely need it charging if we're taking it for drives and things like that though. Otherwise it will leave us electronically stranded. So anyway, tell me in the comments what you think we should do with this. There is a final nuclear option that has crossed my mind as well. I just don't know how feasible it is. And that's to take a Ford 5.0 Coyote engine and stick in here in place of this. I have no idea if there's adapters out there to take a Ford Coyote to this 6-speed transmission from Range Rover. And there would be the electronics to figure out. This is a very electronic car and it does look for a lot of information from the engine. But imagine the possibilities and the sound this would make. So tell me in the comments down below what you think we should do with it. And while you're there, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. There will be more videos coming up on the Range Rover, so stay tuned. But for now, thanks for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, now we can use the Torx to take down the... Oh my God, I can't talk. Okay, now we can use the Torx to hold out... All right, now we can use the Torx to take out the mounting holes. Oh my God. For crying out loud. What colored me confused? One option I'm thinking of is to do some experimentation with some of the... One of the options I'm considering is taking some... Option 3 and then really the one I least... Option 3 and really one of the... Okay, so here's what's up. We need to not spend another dime on this. And there are not... As you may know... Now I suspect we have a timing issue. Now I suggest we have a timing system issue. Now I suspect we have... No.